Hello Magickal Beings, welcome to my channel if this is the first time you're visiting here, and if you're a returning to my channel then welcome back. In this video I'm going to be talking about the 4 phases of coping with a crisis. Now firstly, I just want to say that I am not a medical professional and this information does not replace going and seeing your doctor if you need support. The reason why I wanted to share this information is if you have been following me on Instagram, which is E.M.Luminations_, I have had some personal things happen in my own life lately with the death of a family member due to suicide. And also I think it's relevant in today's current global situation, and I thought it would be helpful to share it with you all here. The 4 phases of coping with a crisis is a model that was developed by a Swedish psychiatrist called Johan Karlberg. And even though in this model there are 4 phases that people go through when dealing with a crisis, it's important to know that not everyone reacts the same way or goes through the different phases in the same sequence or at the same time. So let's go through the 4 phases and some of the reactions that people can have during these phases. So phase number 1 is the shock phase. So in the shock phase, you can experience inner chaos, anger, panic, or apathy. And it feels like the situation is quite unreal. It feels like it just can't be happening even though it is unfolding before your eyes. And you feel like this can't quite be happening. You just can't quite get your head around the situation because your brain just can't comprehend that this is happening. Phase number 2 is the reaction phase. So this is where we find where we're struggling with anxiety, despair, anger, guilt, self-blame, and our mental defenses start kicking in. For example, denying or being in denial of the situation to avoid dealing with it. So it's about our mental coping mechanisms start taking over and start protecting us from the pain of dealing with the situation. Phase 3 is the healing and processing phase. So we find here that there is a gradual acceptance of what has happened once the defense mechanisms start to decrease. So once our mental defenses have started to lessen and those mental walls start coming down, we find gradually we come to a place of acceptance. We also find that we spend less time and energy thinking about what has happened, and this is the start of where the healing and processing begins. Once we enter into phase 4, which is the reorientation phase, even though the event will always be viewed as a painful experience, it's no longer an obsession that we fixate on anymore, which then gives space for an outward view at the world again. So we're able to cope better, and we feel more in control. We also have feelings of resilience and strength as an outcome of processing what has happened and how we've dealt with it and coming out the other side. So some other important things to note are that not everybody is able to move on, and they can get stuck in the same reaction pattern, which is normal. Relapsing is also very normal when experiencing triggers, and it can open old wounds, especially old wounds that haven't been dealt with. Most of us will deal with a crisis at some point in our lives, so you don't need to feel that you are alone in what you're dealing with. As always, please seek professional medical advice, especially if you are feeling you are spinning out of control, or the pain has become so unbearable that you can no longer cope. Just know that you are important, and that you are so important that you do not have to go through this alone, and that there are services out there that can support you. I hope that you have found this video helpful or informative, or both. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.